Well, hello, and welcome to the Glamper Hideaway. Now, a lot of you guys have been asking us about the Glamper Hideaway because when we are not on the road, we are here, and when we're not here, we're on the road. So many of you guys have asked us about the Hideaway, so today we're gonna give you a behind the scenes, inside tour, never before seen of the Hideaway. So come on in. So when you first come into the Hideaway, we have our formal dining area right in here. Now, one thing I want to mention is literally everything that is in this room was all purchased used. So either Facebook Marketplace or via thrift stores. So when we moved into this house, when we bought this house, we really prioritize experiences over things. So we did not want to spend a lot of money on things like decor or furniture or anything like that. Literally everything, even including we replaced these light fixtures just a couple months ago. We purchased them used on Facebook Marketplace. And so we've done a very, very minimal bare bones budget with everything in here decorating. And then right over here, this is just kind of like the front living area. This is like the TV free area. This is where that you can just relax, sit down, talk to some folks. The other thing is this couch also was purchased secondhand on Facebook Marketplace. This is a convertible couch from IKEA. And so this piece down here pulls out, it turns this whole area into a queen size bed. If you have a space that you want to rent out as a vacation rental, which is what we have been doing, is using this then as a vacation rental and having guests come stay when we're on the road. So this gives us another queen bed. So we have another space for sleeping for 2 more people, with this couch being the convertible type couch. This particular house has an actual like designated office area. It's what looks like a bedroom, right? But it's not because it doesn't have a closet. So this is an actual office. This is Ben's office space. This is where he does a lot of the editing for our videos. We do a lot of strategic planning, things like that in here. And again, the only thing in this room that was purchased new when we got this house was the desk. We did purchase the desk new. Other than that, everything else, again, secondhand purchases on mostly Facebook Marketplace, thrift stores too. We've also done a lot of thrifting. So that's the office. Then you come through here, and this is what we love about this place. So really our heart, our mission is that we want to encourage people to spend time together as a family, make memories as a family, do things together as a family. And so the majority of our guests that come here to the Glamper Hideaway are multiple families that are coming into the Central Florida area for vacations. We have a lot of theme parks in Central Florida. That's a big draw. There's a lot of sporting events that happen. So we actually have a group that's coming in a couple of weeks that is coming into town for a very large volleyball tournament. So we will have guests here for that particular event. And so in this particular kitchen area, this last year, had the cabinets all repainted. So we wanted to keep things very minimal, but they were kind of an older oak look and just had older hardware and stuff like that. So if we're kind of more on a budget, we had the cabinets themselves repainted and resurfaced basically. And then we also had the whole entire interior of the house repainted recently as well, just to give it more of like a coastal feel and vibe. And so lots of space to be able to cook, lots of space to be able to have lots of people in one particular space. And so I know that you guys are dying to know what's in the fridge, right? Don't you want to know what's in the fridge?
I know I gotta show you guys the fridge. That's just how it works.
Yes.
Okay. So in our fridge, now here's the one thing, our fridge and freezer, I literally can fit everything that is in our fridge and freezer into the RV fridge and freezer. So when we do travel, literally I empty everything out of here straight into the RV, and it all fits with the fridge and freezer that we have in the RV being the larger, more full-ish size fridge and freezer. So we've got a lot of fruit, yogurt, a couple Celsiuses in here, protein shakes, you know, just the typical stuff.
My favorite, Cristal.
That is the kitchen area. Ben got me a KitchenAid for my birthday, and I have been loving using that when we are here at the Hideaway, because I've been making a ton of like things like pizza dough. The kids are loving homemade cinnamon rolls, which I learned how to do. My grandma showed me that one. It is nice when we are here at the Hideaway being able to just cook like larger kind of stuff versus when we're in the RV, plus lots of space for lots of people. So I love my little coffee bar areas. We have a full-size coffee pot, but then we also have this kind of like Keurig thing. When we have guests, I have this completely filled and ready to go. So we've got the kettle, we have teas, we've got like pods for the coffee and things like that. So just kind of a little coffee bar area. And here's the little thing. So this little thing, I actually DIY'd this. These are 2 little boxes from the Dollar Tree, and then these are like paint stir sticks. And I assembled it all and I stained it, and now it is my little coffee and tea setup for our coffee bar. In here, all of the decor that is in here is, again, you guessed it, secondhand, thrift stored. The table and chairs, secondhand from Marketplace. Even the patio furniture, which we'll show you in a little bit, is also secondhand from Facebook Marketplace. But just kind of a nice little eat-in area, so you can look out over the pool, or you can even go sit out there and have your morning cup of coffee if you want. We wanted to take a quick minute to thank the sponsor of this video, Sunjoy Group. Now, something important to us is being able to spend time together outdoors, and Sunjoy is also on a mission to create great products to help people do just that. One of the things we enjoy here as a family at the Glamper Hideaway, as well as an amenity offered to our guests when we're hosting, is our swimming pool. Sunjoy offers some great pool accessories like their towel racks, floating pool gazebo, and pool float organizer. One of my favorites is the floating beverage tray for enjoying some poolside snacks and drinks, all without leaving the comfort of my pool float. Oh, and they have a pretty cool Bluetooth speaker beverage tray too. They also offer many other products for outdoor living and fun, such as a portable AC unit, which is perfect for those summer camping trips, enjoying time at the park, or even at the ball fields for kids' sports. We've partnered with Sunjoy for an exclusive discount, so be sure to use the code GG15 to save 15% off, or visit gratefulglamper.com/Sunjoy, or just click the link in the description below. And a huge thanks to Sunjoy for sponsoring this video. In our like just living area here, this big couch, we also picked this up at a thrift store for super, super cheap. We found a thrift store in the Winter Garden area here in Florida that has some amazing deals, especially people that donate really high-end furniture. And this couch is actually from a very high-end furniture store here in Florida, and we picked it up literally for pennies on the dollar for this particular space in here. But just kind of hangout area for families to come, hang out, enjoy being together. And then we'll continue on over here, because on this side of the house, basically the way this house is set up, we have a bunch of bedrooms on this side, and then we have the master suite on the other side. So over on this side, we have a bathroom. Now this door here goes directly out into the pool. If people are coming in from the pool, they're wet, they need to take a quick shower, whatever, this is the best bathroom for that. So it's set up that way. When we're home, primarily Dakota's using this bathroom as kind of his bathroom. And then this is the bedroom that Dakota calls his. Dakota's a huge space enthusiast, and part of being in Florida is the Space Coast is literally just about an hour away. The Kennedy Space Center. There's so much to do in Central Florida, which again is why so many people come and they love visiting this particular area. This room's kind of set up as a space theme room. We've got the SpaceX flag, the NASA flag, everything's kind of space themed, of course, which is right up Dakota's alley as well. Just a quick note, when we do rent this out on Airbnb, we do a massive kind of deep clean where all of this kind of stuff gets packed up and it gets put away, because we're in Florida and we want to make sure that a lot of the stuff is in a temperature controlled environment. I'm going to give you a couple hacks on how that we do this and where we put everything without having to rent a storage unit or move things back and forth. So I will tell you about that in just a few minutes. So this next bedroom is actually technically like a spare room. So nobody is using this when we are home. We actually have had some guests that have come and stayed with us while we are here and we're not on the road, just some friends and family if they want to come visit and we just all want to be together that don't have an RV. So this is truly just like an actual guest room. This pair of nightstands, I'm pretty proud of myself. I actually refinished these myself. So I purchased these on Facebook Marketplace. It was $40 for the pair. very solid wood. And then I used some Beyond paint to refinish these. So I actually have a short, I'll link below in the description if you want to just take a quick look at a quick drive-by on how I refinished these and what the process on that looked like. And then the one thing that we have that we absolutely love is we do have a guest book. So we ask even our guests, like our friends and family that come visit us, we actually even ask them to sign the guest book, just because it's fun to go back and to look at the memories that we shared together. And the other thing too that we love seeing is we have so many families that will leave us a note in our guest book letting us know. Things like, hey, my kiddo learned to swim in the pool and it was really memorable, or just the time that they had here together that just created great family memories, which is really what our mission is to just inspire other families, just spending time together and clearing your schedule, whatever you have to do to create those memories and to come together in that way. So a guest book is something I highly recommend if you're considering something like having either a vacation rental that is just a strict vacation rental, you're considering maybe not selling it all to go full time, but keeping your home and renting it out. I love having that guest book. So now over in this particular area, this is kind of an interesting space. So this was a custom build. This is not a cookie cutter floor plan. This is not in your typical subdivision. This is really the Glamper Hideaway for a reason, because it is really tucked away. Because it's a custom build, they put this space in. They were a homeschooling family and they wanted a space to be able to kind of have their homeschool stuff. So we just put a lot of like arts and crafts stuff in here. Trinity and I like to do some crafts every once in a while. So this gives us a space to store it all right in here. And then the second bathroom is this bathroom right in here. We've got a full bath with an actual bathtub in here and just plenty of counter space and everything like that for guests here. Linen closet here, and then up above, it's like an actual kind of like floor mattress. Again, we're trying to think about with guests, how many guests can we have? If they need extra sleeping space, they need to throw a kiddo down on the floor to make sure we have everything. I also have a pack and play that I keep in one of the closets too, if we have guests that have little ones that need a spot to sleep. It's completely equipped. We're trying to make sure that we can accommodate all of the families that want to come and be together. So over in here, this is Trinity's room. There's a lot going on in here, as a typical 12-year-old girl would have going on in her room. When we do Airbnb, we do have a lot that has to be put away. One of the things that I think is kind of like beneficial in a way is it's a forced purge. So every year when we go through things, we have taught the kids that there really are three things that we're gonna do. We're going to create a keep pile, a donate pile, and just a trash pile. So everything gets designated into one of those three categories. Things like the stuffed animals, things like that, we will pack those up for when we're gone, and then we bring those back out after we're done traveling. I should also give you the caveat that it's a lot of work. So we only put the house up on Airbnb during those times we know we're going to be gone for at least 2, 3, 4 months at a time, because it's a lot of work doing it any other way. So we have a queen size bed here. So again, 2 more people that can sleep in here. We also have people that'll, throw somebody down on the floor on the extra mattress if they need to. So total, the house can sleep up to 12 people the way that we have it set up. Obviously, you could probably put a few more people on a couch here, a couch there. We try to max it at 12, just so things don't get a little too crazy. But that's usually a good number for multiple families to be able to come and be together. Let's take you over across the other side of the house into the master suite. So a lot of your Florida ranch style houses are actually kind of set up similarly to this, where you have like maybe bedrooms on one side of the house, and then you have your living area in the center of the house, and then you have your master suite on the other side of the house. So over here in the master suite area, we have a king size bed. There's also plenty of space to be able to put something else over here on the floor, whether it be a pack and play for little ones, or there's also a futon that we used to keep in here that we don't have that one anymore since we got the IKEA couch. Now, because Ben and I need some separation when we work and things of that nature, this is kind of where my workstation is set up when we are not on the road. This is kind of my space. I actually really like having the view of the pool. I love flamingos. My little meadow flamingo out there was Ben's anniversary present to Mia for our anniversary this last year. Again, just like everything else in the house, everything in this space, the bed, the nightstands, the lamps, this chair, literally everything was secondhand. Probably one of my favorite finds was actually this vase was set up just how it is with these flowers in it. And that came from a Habitat restore. And so that was a really good find. I think that one was like $5. And then of course we have the Brooklyn bedding mattresses on all of the beds because they're just amazing and we want to make sure our guests are getting a good night's rest. So this is the master bath area. Now, this is also where I told you how we need to be able to put things away and store things in a climate controlled environment. This is the little trick that we have in here. So master bath area, very large tub, very large shower that is in here. Separate area for the toilet. But now over in here, what we have is in the master closet area back in here. This is a pocket door. Now, pocket doors, traditionally, there's really not a way to lock and key them. So really, this particular closet area, this became and does become a storage room. This thing is insanely huge. Like, this is bigger than any one person needs for a closet, in my particular opinion. In fact, I put a Facebook post on my personal Facebook page several months ago showing, because I had done a organization of this closet, and people asked where all of our clothes were. Well, the clothes that are in here are the only clothes we own. We're very, very minimal with anything we have. So that being said, this space is not completely full because we don't have a lot of stuff. We prioritize experiences over things. So that leaves us a lot of empty space to essentially use as storage. So all of those things that you saw, like in our daughter's room and our son's room, that need a place to live when this thing is up on Airbnb, are in this closet here. So this is a lock that you can use with a key, but it fits into a actual pocket door. We can lock this, and then we work with our house cleaning team. So they have a key to be able to access in here, and we keep extra cleaning supplies, things like that. And then we have a clothes rack that we'll put into the master suite. So if people need to hang their clothes, they have a place to hang their clothes, but there's no access into the master closet here because it just essentially becomes a very, very large storage room. Let me go show you the garage because there's something with the garage that we also do. So we actually have this handle here. We just flip this around. So when we are Airbnb-ing this, then this lock gets flipped to the other side, and then the only way you could access this is with a key. So out here in the garage, we have my minivan. So my minivan actually stays here when we travel because we just tow the Expedition behind us. That just stays here inside of the garage. Of course, we've got like the tools and miscellaneous stuff like that, because really the garage is storage. Now, here's where we can put anything that doesn't require temperature control. So that is the garage and what we have, what we keep into the garage. Now, here is one of the biggest selling points of why we purchased this particular property, was because this property already had a place literally set up for RV parking. So the previous owner that owned this house actually had like a small trucking company. And so he had a very large vehicle that he needed to park. And then we had an electrician come in and install a 50 amp hookup. So here's a beautiful thing. Because of the solar setup that we have on here, we actually have that feeding the solar back into the Glamper Hideaway. And we've reduced our monthly utilities budget after we had the solar put in by $75 a month. Our utilities on this particular property are very, very, very low. And we have our RV right here. So when we are ready to rock and roll, literally all we have to add is clothes and food, and we are down the road.
Honey, are you sure you know how?
Trust me, okay?
Oh.
Thanks.
Okay, I'll show you my favorite place to park myself in the afternoons, you know, when I'm done editing a video. This is kind of some of the favorite places I like to hang out, you know, de-stress and just enjoy nature and growing things and do gardening and stuff. So here we've got a few little trees that, what is this called? A crepe myrtle. I love this thing. So every year we just have to kind of cut it off, and then it blooms really nicely. Smells amazing. There is a lot of maintenance that needs to be done around the house. Palm trees that need to have the fronds removed. You accumulate a lot of branches and stuff. So having a fire pit here is just wonderful because we can throw everything in there, and Dakota just likes to light it up on fire.
It's science.
We are going to start kind of like a food forest in here. So we're gonna be growing all kinds of trees and stuff here. So come on over here. So this is a lime tree here. And then over here, we've actually got a lemon tree. Ooh, you hear that? It's thunder. It's gonna rain. Here we've got a cranberry hibiscus. I've got blueberry. This I just planted a little while back. This is a mulberry plant. I'm excited to see this drop some berries here. This is Charity's favorite plant over here, which is hibiscus. And so that thing looks beautiful. And then this is an avocado tree. So I planted this, you know, probably this last year. It was about this big. And now this thing is ginormous here. So you can see it's actually taller than me. So I'm looking forward to getting some avocados off of this thing here. Over here, I grew a banana tree. So this thing just started out this big, and now it's already this size. So I'm excited to see what kind of bananas we can get to put on our pancakes. Real quick here in the front, this is one of the solar flamingos I got Charity, so it lights up at night. We've planted several things here. One of them is a bird, white bird of paradise that we're growing, and then just a ton of plants. Here is a moringa plant. So this is like a superfood that I've been growing. There's a bunch of these that I'm growing here. Some palms that we're growing, a rose bush, and then again, this is the favorite spot I wanted to show you guys that I love hanging out, and so does Dakota. If you're ever having a stressful day, just come out here and just hang out in here, and that will relieve any stress. And then over here, one last thing, is one of my favorite trees. This is a grapefruit tree. So as you can see, this has got a ton of grapefruits on here, and they end up being like about this big. And then on the side here, you guys saw in our macerator video, this is where we have our sewer clean out that we can bring our macerator hose over to dump.
Hello.
Come on over here. Come on.
And then this pair of nightstands, I'm pretty proud of myself. I touched my microphone.
There's nothing there. There's no answer or anything.
Alexa is telling me someone's at the doorbell. That didn't work. We're gonna have to do this differently. So you'll have to let us know if you have any questions about turning something into a vacation rental. We are not necessarily the authority on that, but we are happy to share our experience and kind of how we have made it work for our particular family. So speaking of things to do in the Central Florida area, or just in the state of Florida in general, we've got a whole playlist right up here of some really fun places that we know you're gonna wanna visit, especially with the RV.